as a father. I have to sit there and I have to watch this. Life, man, hit so hard.
Yeah.
At that moment. And sometimes, just for a brief second, sometimes as parents, we feel a sense of guilt. Like it's my fault. What happened to her? You know, so I had to navigate all of that alone. And to get past that moment, and to see her now a year later. And again, she'll be able to tell her own story. But quietly, bro, I had to go through it by myself. And what I mean by that, I had to be there. Now, again, my family was there after a while because at first they didn't know how deep it was.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't know how severe it was. And, you know, sometimes, and thankfully, bro, I didn't struggle with this. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't struggle with this part. You know, sometimes what they going to say? You preach, you doing this, and now you know, that was just like Job in the Bible.
Yeah.
You know, they wanted to know, what did he do that he's experiencing all of this? Now, I'm no Job now. You know, I'm not innocent.
For sure.
But God allowed certain things to happen, man, to be able to, I had to love my daughter through those moments.
Welcome world, welcome family to another episode of the EL2A Podcast. Today, well, I'm your host, Jamie Gilmore Jr., but today, man, I got my brother with me today, man, another special guest. This brother we had today, man, I'm gonna tell you a little something about this brother, right?
All right.
This brother, man, he's one of the most genuine, one of the most caring, one of the most good heart individuals you'll ever meet. All of energy. Once this camera flipping, y'all see him, you will be like, yeah, that's him. This brother just, man, he's different, right? And he's different in a good way. He's cut different. I have my brother today, Daniel Grimes, with me today.
I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for having me, man.
Yeah, man. Now we're gonna have a good one, man. I already told you, man. We today, y'all might as well be prepared, right? We're gonna motivate some.
Yeah.
We're gonna encourage others. And we may hurt a little feelings on the way. Right? But nah, brother, man. I genuinely appreciate you, brother.
Yeah.
Our friendship, man. I truly appreciate our friendship. Maybe 2 years now? 2 years, bro. Yeah. And ever since I met you, man, you've been so solid, bro.
Yeah.
There's an act of kindness you did, bro. And I don't know if I said this to you, but you did something. And when you did this, I did this brother just do this at our gala, right? Yeah. And you just that person, right? You come, you know what I mean? You make sure everybody right.
Yes,
as I'm getting ready for the gala, you putting on my jacket, you helping me with my shoe, like you doing everything.
Yes, sir.
And then, brother, you took a brush and you just start brushing my hair. And I said, did this brother just brush my hair? I said, oh yeah, I like him. I said, yeah, that's my guy, right? But just things like that. Yeah. Even for me, it's like I feel I'm a good person, but I ain't just gonna take a brush out and start brushing nobody hair, bro. You know what I mean? But that just speaks volumes to who you are, brother. And I truly appreciate you, bro. And you need it, bro.
I appreciate you, brother.
You need it in the ecosystem, so we need to see. So I appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you, man. You gonna leave me hanging?
Yeah, no, I got you. But stop what you're doing right now before we get into it. Like, subscribe, and comment. You already know what time it is. Like, subscribe, and comment, man. It means so much. It helps us push this platform further. And another thing, comment, man. We're going to have a conversation here. If anything you take away from it, comment and let us know what you took away from it. Share this, all right? The challenge already off the bat. Share this episode with 3 people right now. Let's make it happen. Other than that, Cut Different Academy. What's up, EL2A family, man? Come invest in the futures that are going to change the world. What you see here right now, man, we are reimagining education, right? We are giving these young boys and showing them who they are and where they're going. We're creating a school-to-career pipeline, and it's happening right here on this property, man. So let's go, EL2A fam. We're going to have a QR code that pops up. You scan that code, all right? And it's going to take you and tell you everything you need to know to come help us invest in the futures that's going to change the world. Let's go. Yeah. Come invest in the futures that's going to change the world, right? Come invest in the futures that are going to change the world. We're reimagining education, and we can do it now, right? We can save our kids. The future is now. Let's save our kids, all right? But my brother.
Yes, sir.
Brother, I'm on a journey of life right now, right? Self-discovery is a huge thing. I say there's 2 questions in life that you have to answer. Who am I, and where am I going?
Yes,
Really?
sir.
And that's so powerful. As I'm sitting with you, I could tell you, I just, before we got in the episode, I told you who I seen you as, right? I said these words like you're caring, da 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 da. That's how I feel.
Yes, sir.
I want to hear from the horse's mouth. Who is Daniel Grimes?
Just what you just basically said, man. And caring. If I see something that is out of place, that's the reason why I did that. And I learned that from my dad. You know what I'm saying? And basically, when you're friends with someone or your family, it's like you're sitting down eating and you got something in your mouth. Your closest friends is going to tell you, hey, man, you got something. So that day, that's what I saw with you. And although we hadn't been friends very long, but I noticed that you were a caring person. You gave your all. And at that moment, dude, you was giving your all that day. And to the point that you really didn't have time. To take time for you to make sure you was together. And so I felt like I was that person at that time. And so that's what it is for me, man. I try to help those that can't help themselves. I try to inspire those that can't inspire themselves. I'm genuinely happy for people more than I'm happy for myself. So that's who Daniel Grimes is.
So even with that, bro, and that's powerful. But the world we live in, bro, it's so negative. Right? So you get on social media, you see negative. It's just, you go to work, wherever you're at, you can see negative. How can you still be that person in this world?
So very easy. I know who I am, right? And I know who I am because I know what I'm not. And so that helps me to stay focused on me, right? And knowing that a lot of the negativity that goes on, it's because people really don't know who they are, right? And so when you see that, you have two choices. Either you can feed into it, or they have this thing on social media where it says hide, snooze, unfollow. And that's the same way in life. So that's what helps me to be who I am constantly, because whatever is going on around me or whatever is going on in someone else has nothing to do with me directly. And so we can't allow what someone else go through or what they feel or what they perceive affect or change who we are.
You
get what I'm saying? So
talk to me. So I'm pretty sure everybody watching this episode, they like everything you say, and they're like, that's you, right? Because they just know you to be this joyous, upbeat person all the time. I never seen you have a bad day, right? When have you had a bad day? Like, tell me something that knocked you off your rocker. You like, I'm about to go there. Like, when can take Daddy there?
A couple things, man. A couple things. And truth be told, I have more bad days than what you even realize. The only difference is I've learned how not to make my private struggles a public. That's one of the things that I've learned over the years. Don't allow my private struggles to become public failures. So I have to deal with it behind closed doors. Taking advantage of someone, bro, that right there can send me, make me have like that'll get me. You know what I'm saying? So we do have those moments, but it's just checking yourself that it doesn't happen in front of. Another thing is a person that think they know it all.
It's smart if they
Listen, that right there, you get to sit and it's like, nope, don't spaz out, bro. Yes, sir.
Okay. So talk to me. At the age of 6 or 7, bro, you had third-degree burns on your back. So when I think about resiliency, I see you, right? And we're gonna talk about your story.
Yes, sir.
But I want to start from the beginning, because when you think about 6 or 7, that's like probably the first time you can really start remembering. So take me back to that moment, and how did that moment, have an effect on your life?
Okay, so going back to that moment, I was with my father, and we were in Stark, Florida, where my dad used to pastor, and we used to have to ride down there 3 or 4 days a week. And just like the typical tradition of Black culture, selling food at church to raise money for the building fund, and they was having a fish fry, and I never forget it. It was me and another young man. My dad told me, hey, boy, stop all that running. Just like a little kid. Didn't listen. And it was one of those big fryers. And, man, we was running. I tripped over the thick cord. And when I did, the hot grease hit my back. And my dad came to get me with another young man that was with my dad at the time. And my dad panicked. And when he panicked, he pulled my shirt. As my dad pulled my shirt up, pulled my skin. My skin came off. And so that's what happened. That was in Stark, Florida. So we were there. They had a small hospital there and had to eventually transfer me back to Ocala. And I'll never forget, remember, I should say, 2 months, man, going through the whirlpool skin graft and where they had to take skin from my leg and to put it on my back. And I was there, like I say, for about, I asked my mom the story, and it was about 2 or 3 months that I was there that I remember. And that affected me a long time because that was painful, you know, and, you know, going through that and, so that's the first time I experienced pain. At that moment, 6 or 7. And I never forget being in the hospital. My grandfather, God bless him, and I'm gonna circle back to it, but I'm gonna say this. My grandfather used to bring me Popeyes.
In the hospital?
In the hospital.
Yeah.
He used to bring me Popeyes. But later on in life, that was synonymous to the pain that I would go through later on, and Popeyes became my comfort food. And I never forget, 2 years ago, I then identified why Popeyes was synonymous with, because it was during the time of I was recovering from pain. You know, that my grandfather used to give me.
Powerful.
Yes, sir.
That's powerful. We're going to go back to that.
Yes, sir. We'll go back to that.
But so you were talking about that time. So you spent those 2 months, like you stayed in the hospital.
Stayed in the hospital. Didn't leave the hospital.
Okay.
So my mom had to be there with me when she got, you know, other kids to take care of. You know, so yeah, man, had to stay in there.
So when you got out of the hospital, I'm pretty sure you had scars, right?
Yeah, I had scars.
So you had to go back to school, I'm assuming? How?
Yes, I missed the majority of the school, and I had to wear, of course, it was like a bodysuit that the women wear today when they get stuff done to their body. So I had to wear that for a while, and I couldn't come out of that for a while.
What did that do to your confidence? What did that do to you know what I mean?
Confidence, man, I took a hit. Reason being, and I didn't realize it then because you're 6 or 7 years old, 8, 9, 10. But it was later on, right when I was getting ready to go to 9th grade, that it then came back. I was walking in the house, and my dad never allowed us to walk around the house with our shirts off because we had sisters. He didn't play that. So I was trying to run from my room to the laundry on the garage to get a shirt because I ain't having a shirt on. And my mom screamed. And I'm like, she's like, come here. And I'm like, what did I do? She said, turn around. It's like, I know I ain't been kissing no girl. You know, I ain't got no hickeys or that. And just being transparent. And I turned around, and that's when she realized that I had scoliosis. So that's when my confidence took a hit because at 6 or 7, you know, you're 10 years old, you're able to cover, you're outside playing, you know, not really a big deal. But it was at that moment that it took a hit because not now only am I burned, but now you're telling me that I have something that I've never heard of. You know,
so the scoliosis thing, that came, you didn't learn that till high school.
I didn't learn that till I was getting ready to go into 9th grade.
Wow. So now that you get this, right? So it makes me think about today's world, right? In the world that we work in, with school, you work with young boys, and when they figure out they have, they're different. They use it as a crutch. They use it as something that I can't do this because of that. When you figured out you had this, did that become a crutch, or how did that affect you?
So in the beginning, I wanted to hide because at that moment, I couldn't play sports because they didn't allow you. Once you had scoliosis, you're out because the schools didn't want to take on that responsibility. Possibly you fall and then you suing the school. So that took a hit because you're talking about now, you know, at the prime of a boy's life going into high school, that's when girls and all of that stuff, to tell me now I got to wear this back brace. Which made me have to wear oversized clothes because I'm trying to hide that. You know, at that stage. But when I got further on in life, I was able to use that, my deformity or my disability, as a way to show people that just because you're different don't mean that it defines who you are. But see, again, I didn't learn that until I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So because again, you in high school, I'm looking at the guys on the team, they able to walk around with their shirts off. Now I can't do that because not only do I have a burn, now I have a crook in my back.
Yeah.
So that there, inwardly it took a hit, but outwardly nobody knew because I still dressed up. You know what I'm saying? I still wore the suits.
Yeah.
You know, even in school, even at North Marion High School, I did that.
Yeah.
But inwardly, man, my insecurities was bad.
Yeah.
You know.
So when you in that moment, and now you're in high school, you got to go through this. You can't play sports, and how were you able to, like, I guess, make it through? Was it just I'm just pushing through it?
Yeah.
It is what it is, or like how you get what I'm saying? How were you able to weather that storm?
Yes. Yeah. So now, during that time, this is where my upbringing comes in at with church, right? So that's where I was able to push through because I was a musician, playing lead guitar, which was one of the dominant instruments in the church that I grew up in. Most churches, it was the keyboard. In our church that we grew up in, it was the guitar. So what I didn't get at school, I got at church. So the girls maybe didn't look at me at school.
Yeah.
But at church, it was a whole different thing. So church became my safe space.
Yeah.
Because now what I don't get at schools, I'm now able to get the adulation and the affection and that's the musician.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Danny. That's Grimes.
Yeah.
So that's how I was able to push through.
Yeah.
So I had a bit of an outlet at church.
Danny, please tell me you wasn't using church to get girls.
I did. I did.
Tell me you wasn't using the Lord to get girls when you did.
Yeah. I did. I did. It was so bad, man, because during that time, our organization at that time had about 23 churches. And so during that time, I learned this years later that the founder that started that organization, he was rivaling the Church of God in Christ back then. You know, with Bishop G. Patterson. And you're talking about in the 70s and the 80s.
Yeah.
Because I was born into that. So, bro, you talking about that's the way to get known?
Yeah.
You on that stage? Yeah. For real.
Man, going crazy.
Going crazy. And it was so bad, man. There was this old church mother told me, Danny, you going to get in trouble with God messing with these women like this. And you took about 11, 12, 13 years old. Yeah. At that time, even before high school. So yeah, I was one of those ones.
They seen it. They already knew what you were doing.
Already gone.
So talk about this. So we talked about the burn, right?
Yes.
The burn that shaped you. The scoliosis that shaped you.
Yes.
Another thing that we've talked about personally in our sauna time, in our run time is we share something that's being PKs, right?
Yeah.
Being pastor children, they pass the kids. You know what they say about PKs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, in that, but it was different, right?
Yeah.
The way I was raised, my father modeled, right? He didn't force anything on us.
Yes.
He just modeled. He was a pastor, but it wasn't like you got to be at church every day of the week. We had playing football and stuff. We ain't had that time.
Yeah.
So we went to church when we could.
Yes.
For you, it was more different. You got to be to church every day.
Yes.
And you also was part of a religious.
Yes.
This is where my ignorance come in, and this is why I need the education. Because I am a Christian, I'm Baptist, and that's really what I know. I did all the denominate, all that different.
Yeah.
Like I'm not as educated on that. You were a part of something that was very structured. There were things you could do and couldn't do, and that shaped who you became. So talk about what was that?
Yes. So we grew up. I was born in it. Literally, my mom and my dad. My mom was making her wedding dress at Forest High School.
Wow.
She graduated in May or June, and her and my dad got married in September of that same year.
Wow.
So
they were put together?
No,
okay.
they didn't. Was not that day. It wasn't like that.
Okay.
In some religious sectors, it is like that. But with my mom and my dad, no, they met and had a mutual affection for each other, and so I was born in it. So that's all I knew. So the type of church that we grew up in was a very hard traditional Pentecostal holiness church.
Okay.
Meaning you couldn't go to football games. You couldn't go. You couldn't go to the movies. You couldn't have a TV in your house. You couldn't wear pants. You couldn't play sports.
Wow.
You couldn't go to the prom. You couldn't go to dances.
Wow.
Because that's what they believed.
Wow.
And my dad, early on, my dad was 21, 22 years old. And just like any of us, when we get into something, we serve that with everything in us. So he wanted to do the right thing. And that's how he raised his kids.
Yeah.
You know, if they say you can't wear shorts, bro, I can wear shorts too.
You didn't wear.
I didn't.
When the
wear
first time
shorts.
you wore shorts?
I snuck and wore shorts at Osceola Middle School, and somebody told. You know who you are. Somebody told, wow. And I got in trouble.
Wow.
Got in trouble for it. Yeah, but that's just what they believed. And so again, couldn't go to football games. Sports was out of the question. Shorts was out of the question.
Why? Like you get
why? At that time, that's what they believed. And I don't want to use the word ignorance. They was only doing what they were taught. And a lot of times they combined at that time biblical scripture that had nothing to do with the culture that we was being raised in.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So there was a difference because during that time, you got to go back to the 70s, that a lot of them didn't have a college education. Mm-hmm. Some dropped out of school. And during those times, there was bivocational, meaning that they didn't go to school to get their knowledge.
Yeah.
It was handed down to them. Mm-hmm. So from generation to generation. And so that's how they started their churches, based off of what their grandfather or their grandmother told them. And that's how they built their beliefs.
Yeah.
And so there was a lot of questions that we had, even as children, of why. And the only answers we could get is because that's what they told us.
Wow.
Could never show it to us in the Bible.
Yeah.
And even early on, we started reading the Bible for ourselves, and it was like, wait a minute, what they're telling us doesn't line up with what the Bible says, right? Because there was some that was saying the Bible said, and I'm like, that don't say that in the Bible. I didn't have a problem with saying you can't do it because this is just what we don't do.
Yeah.
The question or the problem came in when it was saying because the Bible said.
No.
And I couldn't find it. So that's where the disconnect came in. Yeah. So that was how we were raised, bro. Yeah. And my dad wanted to do the right thing. My mom wanted to do the right thing. And because they said, we're going to be in this organization, we're going to be all in with this. So we was raised very strict, bro. Yeah. We didn't have a TV in our house until I was out of the house.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So think about this, brother, because that is something like, especially when you do something for a long time, right? That's like if you go to college, you go to jail, you institutionalized, right? So when was the break free moment? When was the moment when it's like, okay, not doing that anymore? Yes. And how was it transferring to the next thing?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes, I follow it.
Okay.
So let me be honest with you. For us, being my siblings, we were already mentally out of that mindset. Because again, we couldn't find the connection with a lot of the things that was told to us and a lot of things that we read in the Bible. But it was our family members. Mm-hmm. It took them years.
Yeah.
For us, it was a little bit more of a smooth transition for us. But when you talk about your whole family, my mom's siblings was raised in the same. My dad's siblings was raised in the same. Grandfathers, grandmothers. So it's not just me and my siblings. Yeah. It's literally a whole culture of my whole family.
Wow.
My whole family. So it took a while for the whole family to make that transition. You said something very institutionalized because this is all you know.
Yeah.
Like I say, let me state this again. It wasn't an issue of saying, if you're telling me we can't do it because this is just like if you work for any company, you got to wear the uniform because this is just our policy.
For sure.
We like what Coca-Cola do. We like what Pepsi do. We like what McDonald's do. Burger King. They all have their way of doing things. Yeah. But to say this is the only way that you can be saved, or this is the only way that you can get to heaven, we saw differently. So it was a long time before the whole family as a whole was able to really break free of that.
Yeah,
you know.
I thought I just had.
Sure.
What y'all used to do in the crib?
Bro, listen.
I had like, what y'all used to do? Read books or something?
Read books.
Read books, okay.
Literally.
Okay.
We would read books. And my dad, I posted something on social media a couple of weeks ago, and my dad, bro, had and to this day he has it. He had every genre of music as far as Christian, meaning Christian rap, Christian reggae, Christian country, your traditional Christian. So that's what we grew up listening to music.
Yeah.
So my dad kept us up with the Winers, kept us up with Commission, kept us up with Time Tribute, kept us up with all of that. So we became unintentionally very musically inclined.
For sure.
Because of that.
It shows.
Yeah. Yeah. So me, my brother played, several different instruments, and he can sing. All three of my sisters can sing. My oldest brother, he's very musically inclined, but that's what we had.
Yeah.
That's all we had. Then there was another thing that what was like our TV. It was something called Adventures in Odyssey. Y'all go Google that.
Boy, that's an old man.
Yeah.
I don't know. What is that?
So Adventures in Odyssey was during the time in the early 90s and late 90s, even the early 2000s, it was like TV.
Oh, okay.
It was literally like biblical acting, but in a fun way.
Yeah.
So that's what we used.
It had to be the church.
It had to be the church, bro.
It
It had to be church.
Boy, could get no entertainment.
No entertainment, that's it. And before we were able to even buy it on cassettes, it will only come on Fridays and Saturdays.
Yeah.
And we literally would be waking up, set our alarm clock, and be sitting in front of a radio like we're watching TV, bro.
Trying to get that last on there. So what are those conversations like now?
Oh man.
Knowing like, okay, we were in that so long, even like with your parents, like
Yes.
how are y'all like, is it more so moms that's like, are we sorry, or is it just like that's just what it was?
Yeah.
Like, how are those conversations now?
Man, the conversations, bro, has been very liberating. One, because as a parent myself, they were only doing what they knew what to do.
For sure.
Right. And so we have a lot of liberating conversations, whereas even my dad and mom was like, look, there were some things that we just didn't know, and apologize for it, and I was like, we can't hold that over you because you were doing what you knew what to do with us. So we laugh about a lot of those times because thankfully a lot of us made it out. Now, a lot of us made it out with more scars than others.
Yeah.
But we all made it out.
For sure.
But those conversations, man, is very good.
Yeah.
And even at the stage that I am now and with my parents, being able to have those adult conversations. So yeah, man.
I love it. One thing I heard you say, bro, you say you was born in church.
Yes.
But you didn't meet God in church.
I didn't meet God in church.
Talk to me about that.
No, didn't meet God in church. Transparently, man, I didn't really meet God until late 2023. And that's crazy to say that.
For sure.
Being raised in church. Because church don't necessarily equate to having a personal relationship with God. Church is a business. Church has, even in 2025, has become a big business. I often used to, as I became more mature, bro, people make the things of God higher than God himself. So that's why you can see people fighting over who's going to be the head of the usher board. Why you have different fights of disagreements about who's going to run maybe how they cook the food and different things like that. You always got some drama going on in church, because it's possible to be in church and God not be there. But it was only until I experienced life, bro, that I met God, meaning that I knew him to be a comforter. I was going through depression, bro, and that's when I met God. So it wasn't in church, because I often say this, sometimes church people is so hypocritical that church people will lock you out because you're not supposed to be divorced. You're not supposed to have a public fall. You're not the ideal picture on what a pastor or an evangelist is supposed to look like.
Yeah.
So, nah, man, we don't want you in. Your stuff was too public. Yeah. Church says to hide. Church says to be a hypocrite. But God come and he says this, I come that you might have life and that more abundantly. I come that I may free you from public opinion. Yeah. So I didn't meet God in church because people locked me out. They judged me. Wow. So he had to run me away from the institution of church to be able to say, this is who I am. Yeah. And this is what I mean to you.
You just spoke about what the institution of church is.
Yes.
But what is the church actually supposed to be?
The church is supposed to be a body of believers that love people, that feed people, that clothe people. Right. Mm-hmm. That's what the church is supposed to be. Yeah. That's what we were called to be. Mm-hmm. To be able to love those. And the Bible said it like this, how people would know that you are a follower of me is by the love that you show one to another. Nothing wrong with the services, nothing wrong with the concerts, nothing wrong with the revivals, nothing wrong with all of that. But when it takes the place on what church was designed to be, then that's where the problem comes in at. Yeah.
So you feel churches aren't fulfilling that?
Some are, some not. I can't put them all in that same, because there are some, bro, that are really trying to be the feet of Jesus and the heart of God. Yeah. But sometime, man, especially in a world where social media has highlighted certain things to go viral, you know what I mean? So the foundation of what church is supposed to be is to love people at their core. Yeah. You know what I mean? So,
what I've seen, and this is obviously you can talk from your own experiences. Sure. I've seen that what goes on between the four walls have become more important than
absolutely
what's going on outside.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Where the people are, even in the space of what we do. You think about, I'm gonna go focus here.
Yes.
Where are my feet at? You know, Ocala, Florida.
Yes.
We have churches on every block, on every corner, bro, but we don't really get no support from the churches, right? We have churches like yours. You guys do support us, and there's some others, white churches, that support us. But when it comes to black churches, we don't see. It's as if you have to go in and beg, to get help.
Yes,
that's where I see like what we doing.
Yes, reason being, speaking from experience, I think I'm qualified because I grew up in this institution of the religious sector. Because if it's not mine, I can't support you. Yeah. If I didn't start it, I can't help you. Yeah. Because then it takes away from what I'm doing. Yeah. And it was never supposed to be that way. Mm-hmm. We are always supposed to be helpers one to another, especially if your vision is helping bring someone out. You're feeding the poor, you're clothing the poor. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's what you're doing. So again, bro, that's what we as the church, and that was one of the reasons, bro, that I was so bitter with church for a long time. I ain't want no part of it. Yeah. That was the reason why I ran away from it, because I saw what hypocrisy did. And I was like, and here when I say this, if I was going to speak on a platform about a thing, it's not coming from a place of perfection, but it's a place of integrity. It's two totally different things. Yeah. So I always wanted to, if I'm going to be in something, I don't want to play with it. Yeah. And because I saw too much hypocrisy in the church. I know you can identify with this when we were growing up. Maybe, I don't know if you heard it in your household, maybe some aunts say what goes on in this house stays in this house. For sure. Yeah. As long as you walk out like nothing. Yeah. And that's what church was to me growing up. Yeah. Because there was so much hurt. And my thing is, I grew up in the church. So it wasn't the world that hurt me. Yeah. It was the church that did it. Yeah. So then as I began to get older, I had to reconcile on how do I forgive a body that maybe I would never get an apology for, but also don't allow it to ruin who I'm supposed to be. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So there's a lot of disconnect, bro, with people that grew up like me, grew up in the church, that was hurt by the church. And you always hear it when it comes out on social media. Yeah. or even if they're speaking on a public platform, because they've never been healed from that. And I never wanted to be on a platform, bro, where I bleeded on my audience.
Sound bitter.
Right. I always wanted to be able to speak from a place of empathy and compassion to say, yeah, it happened, but it doesn't define me. And also, I can speak my truth without bashing someone.
Man, so the thing that you ran from,
yes,
you end up going back to.
Going back to.
So it makes me think about like a relationship. You know what I mean?
Yep.
When you look from outside and it's a female or something,
Yep.
a dude, she don't love him, but she keep going back to him.
Yes.
There's usually a couple things that makes that person keep going back.
Yes.
Right? For yourself, what made you go back?
I had no choice. I ran, bro. If it was left up to me,
yeah,
I wouldn't have did it.
Yeah.
But God, bro, allowed things to become so bad. I lost everything. And it became so bad that I didn't have a choice. It had been spoken over my life since I was a kid that I would be like my father.
Yeah.
But I saw what it did to my father. My father is one of the most genuine men. That's where I get my attitude from. Mm-hmm. That's where I get the love from, because I saw him do it. I saw him do it to people that, bro, that talked about him. I'm talking about my grandmother. Funny story. My dad would be sitting in the church with my grandmother, my mom's mom. Mm-hmm. And they used to do, my grandmother and my dad used to run the church together up in Stark. And my grandmother used to have to be the one to tell my dad, you know, these people talking about you. Say, you just smiling.
Yeah.
And why? And my dad had no clue.
Yeah.
He had no clue. Yeah. Bro, he's smiling and they talking about it. He just.
Yeah.
He had an innocence about him.
Yeah.
So I seen that. I seen what he did to him, to the point that he would ask, why? When I've been nothing but nice.
Yeah.
You know? So I didn't want it. I didn't want to do it because that was spoken over me. You're going to be like your dad. Mm-hmm. You're gonna preach like your dad. And I didn't want to be known as that, bro. I did everything I could
not to do it.
Not to do it.
Yeah.
I became a different person. I dyed my hair. Bro.
Yeah.
2 different colors.
Wow.
I went, bro.
Yeah,
and I was putting everything on social media. I want you to see it. Yeah. I was bowling.
Yeah. Wow.
The type of music, Jay-Z was my guy.
Wow.
But I got, bro, listen. Yeah. I wanted the most vulgar Jay-Z music, yeah, and I put it all on my workout videos. And I knew they was gonna be watching. Yeah, listen to this. I want no part of that.
You let that seal in the spirit.
Right. So, bro, I did. I was like, no, I don't want no part of that. Not realizing that the audience that I built, being in that space, the women that I met being in that space, will be the very ones that God will use, yeah, for me to even help. But he made me go through a place and a time, dude, that I thought I was running away from my purpose. Mm-hmm. But he was really redefining me and saying, yeah, you're going to do what your dad did, but you're going to do it differently. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And what I'm going to do is those insecurities that you used to have, that you didn't measure up, because, bro, I was in an institution to where everybody was the same. Yeah. Everybody danced the same. Everybody dressed the same. Everybody sounded the same. Everybody danced the same. And here I am coming in with a loud green suit.
Yeah, yeah. Who is this
guy? Totally different.
Who is this guy?
Colored shirt, yeah, something totally different. And I felt out of place. So when it looked like I was going a different route, I say, no, I'm going to use this platform to show you who you are. Because when I send you back to the place that you ran from, mm-hmm, they won't be able to shake your confidence. Yeah. And you'll be able to instill confidence in others that are different.
Yeah, yeah. So when you talk, instead with the church situation, we're talking, yeah, about the place that cast you out because of maybe your shortcomings, yes, or things that happen.
Yes.
One of those situations you spoke about earlier, yes, saying being you're supposed to be married,
yes,
or now you're not married,
yes,
you're divorced.
Yes.
Was you being divorced your problem or the church problem?
No. That was totally my problem.
Okay.
Me being divorced, it was all me. The church had nothing to do with that. Okay. The devil ain't have nothing to do with that.
Okay.
The devil didn't even help me with that.
Yeah.
That was all me.
Yeah.
And the reason being, bro, because when you in a place trying to find who you are, I started preaching 2011, 2010. That's how far this goes back.
Mm-hmm.
And something happened in the place that I grew up in, to whereas I was blasted for something that wasn't totally my fault. But my response to it was horrible, bro.
Okay.
I started treating people that had nothing to do with it. I started treating them bad, started treating them wrong, became very cold, while yet still going to this institution. So now you know how it is, where they say they don't, even in sports, you don't see the first foul, but you see the reaction.
For sure.
Nobody saw that, but they just saw how I was reacting. And when that was taken away from me, because my marriage, even at that time, bro, because of me, wasn't the greatest. But I was able to hold it together because I had church to lean on. I had conferences that I was attending, conferences that I was putting together as a youth pastor even at that time. So I said, well, even if I'm not happy in my marriage, at least my commitment to God will hold this together. So then when that was taken away from me, I said, what's the use? And then I got into something that I ran to something and got into something trying to find peace, consolation, and also, how can I say it? It's not reinforcement that I'm looking for. It's another word, it'll come to me. But anyway, I fell into the arms just like with Samson and Delilah. I ran to someone else that wasn't my wife and found comfort there. And that's when it just went all downhill.
What leads, again, so you're a pastor, right? You're married.
Yep. I was a youth pastor
pastor at that time. You're married, like you're saying. So most people, when they look at you, you're supposed to be perfect, right? You know the Bible better than everybody else.
Right.
You're supposed to be perfect. Yes. What allows a man that can resort and have the foundation of the Word of God?
Yes.
What can make you get knocked off your pivot like that?
Not being honest with yourself and not having a safe space to be vulnerable, to say, before it reaches that point, to say, hey man, I'm having these thoughts. I'm having these struggles. Bro, let me tell you, the most anointed pastor have those struggles. The only difference is some have the circle to be able to say, hey man, these are the thoughts that I'm having. This is what I'm struggling with. At that time, I didn't have that, which allowed me to feel like I didn't have an outlet. Nobody understood. Nobody, because also my dad and my mom, I'm 46. September, my dad and mom married 47 years.
Beautiful.
You know what I'm saying? So my dad and my mom always modeled a lifestyle of not perfection, but integrity. So I never heard that about my dad. I never heard that about my mom. Now you mean to tell me I'm having struggles that I never saw my dad and mom? What is this? Why am I the one dealing with this? And then it just, from being internalized, it just exploded. And so that's why today I try to tell young ministers, young pastors, make sure you have an outlet. Make sure you have a circle to where you can be transparent. Make sure you have someone that you can talk to, that when those thoughts or those problems start to happen, that you have someone that can help you through it. You get what I'm saying? Sure. So you have to have that. But you talking about, bro, I'm 23, 24 years old, you know, at that time, and feeling like, and especially again, because of the culture. Oh no, you're not supposed to go through that. You're not supposed to be experiencing that. And all the while, that it was taken over me. And once that platform was taken, bro, I fell into a world of man just going down the wrong path, brother. Yes, sir.
What were your takeaways from, I guess, that situation, being divorced and having to deal with that? And I say that from a standpoint of takeaways of a brother like myself. You know, we've had conversations, even now, you know, just me being a person that's headed towards marriage, right? Or brothers that may be married, or just people that may be married. What were your takeaways that you can give to aid someone else in their situation that hopefully they don't have to experience what you experience.
Yes. Always be real. Always be transparent. Always be vulnerable. You know, the Bible says that, pride, and I can only talk about myself, talk about men, but pride is a thing, dude, that gets us, and it's solid. It's not loud. It's solid. And sometimes you can't see it. So what I would say is to put your pride aside and to be able to talk to someone, another man, and say, man, this is what it's getting the best of me. What should I do?
Yeah.
And being able to have someone to not judge you, I didn't find that till years later, bro, to have a couple of men that no matter what I went through, no matter what I experienced, bro, they always saw the best in me. They saw this before I saw it. Yeah. I didn't see this. So to be able to give someone like such as yourself to always be vulnerable, transparent, and also don't put yourself in certain situations that you're not strong enough to handle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I know what you mean, bro. I get what you put down. Good stuff. But so thinking about fatherhood, right?
Yes.
Funny thing. So obviously, I've always heard Grimes, like your family name. Y'all from Ocala, so I've heard your name. But I never knew who you were.
Yes.
I heard about your son.
Yes.
But I didn't know it was your son.
Yes,
when I first met you and I seen your son, I thought that was your brother.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So think about fatherhood. So you had him young. You divorced, right?
Yes.
Going back to what we do, bro. We when kids experience divorce, the kids don't have the father in the household. When all these things get ugly.
Yeah.
I know who you are as a man, but how did that affect you in the sense of fatherhood? Your relationship with your kids.
It affected.
Yeah.
It affected it to the point, bro, that I didn't realize how bad. Until things started to materialize through my son and through my daughter. And it broke our relationship. It was very emotional.
Yeah.
Because not only do you have to be careful, because at the end of the day, that's their mom.
Yeah.
And I can't talk bad about their mom because they had nothing to do with that. And also, I had to realize as a man, I don't care, some people say, yeah, it takes two, it does. But me, I'm only responsible for me, right?
Yeah.
But it tore my relationship up with my son.
Yeah.
It had an effect with my daughter. And so divorce, bro, affects the whole family.
Yeah.
And what I come to find out is regardless on what age they are, I don't care if they're young or they're older, it affects them. Because, when you are experiencing adult things, you're trying to navigate the adult things between you and the ex, but then it's unintentionally having an effect on. So, yeah, man, it affected me and my son's relationship. Really bad. And that was a season, man, that I don't wish on anybody. Yeah. Because it's hard to navigate someone else's truth.
For sure.
I have my truth, but he has his.
Yeah.
So, and also he's a young man. So I can't come to him in a way, I'm the father. You should. No, because his truth is real to him. And I got to allow him to navigate his truth.
Yeah.
While yet at the same time navigating mine.
Yeah.
And so there was some moments, man, I couldn't express my truth because he got to express his. So there was another mature moment for me that I had to be quiet a lot. Because Danny, you made the decision. You did. So now, the same that you have to bear the consequences of your actions is very real. And we don't know how our what we do will affect others. And we don't know how deep. Because Bro, children go through things that they may never tell us.
Mm-hmm.
And then at one moment, you mean to tell me now this is happening? And now they need an outlet.
Yeah.
And then they outlet may not be what we saw for them.
Wow.
It may not be even how we raised them, but because they're hurting. Pain will make people do things that they say they would never do.
Man, that's powerful.
Never do. And also, I'm looking at it from this standpoint, bro. I never experienced this in my life. I never seen it with my mom and dad. So how do I navigate this space of not seeing it? And then during that time, bro, me and my son not talking. He's going through it. Then my daughter have one of the most traumatic experiences in her life.
Yeah.
Me and you running, you have no idea.
No idea.
We're running. And one day I just happened to tell you that, you know, hey man, my daughter experienced, and we had to do, and you said, wait a minute, you did what?
Yeah. Yeah.
He said, bro, I would have never guessed
At all.
based off of how I showed up and ran with you. That was a difficult season as well.
Yeah.
Being able, and then during that time, bro, God is saying, I want you to go and preach.
Yeah.
When my son is on this big platform, he experiencing things because he saw his dad do things in the public and he didn't understand.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't tell him that I was reacting to things that happened to me. So now it's a trickle-down effect.
Yeah.
But I can't blame him for doing what he did.
Yeah.
I can't blame him or be hard on him for the choices that he made. Because I always said, if I didn't do what I did, maybe he wouldn't have done what he did.
Yeah.
So having to navigate that in a public space.
Yeah, man.
And like you said, Grimes. Grimes is a huge name out there.
For sure.
Oh, you embarrassing your father. You embarrassing your mother. Now, God, you telling me to preach at this time while all of this is going on?
Yeah.
But he told me, this is what people need to see.
Real. They're real. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Talk to me. So a couple ways, man, because you just talked about a bunch. I want to break down.
Yes.
So I'm going to go back to go forward. If
Yes.
you just stick
Sure.
with me. Your son, right? So we
Yes.
talked about a moment he was broken. Obviously, your son has done great things.
Yes.
Congratulations to you, your wife,
Yes.
to your son.
Yes.
Man, y'all did great. You walked across the stage, taught to correct. Is that just
Yeah,
cool?
that's way. Yes.
So
Yes.
congratulations
Yes.
to that. Thinking about even a public moment in his past, right?
Yes.
That happened when he got into an unfortunate situation. To go through that
Yes.
and to get to
Get
there,
that. Yes.
I didn't want to brush past that.
Hell yeah.
You get what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that was-
So,
yes.
so talk to me. And this could be from any parent, right?
Absolutely.
Because I'm in this space now where I put the mug shots, I show kids,
Yes.
but I hope we can inspire. We can get in the way
Yes.
to maybe they can go through that like your son and
Yes.
still go walk across the stage.
Yes.
How was your son able to, from your perspective,
Yes.
go from that point to graduating college?
Yes. So it was hard for him. It was hard because he had to do it without me. Right. So that was hard. So he leaned on his mom a lot. Him and his mom was very close. And I always told him, even when things was going awry, and I told him, I did. I looked him in his eyes. And when things was so bad, this was some years ago, and I never forget, me and him, in a moment, emotional moment, and I looked at him in his eyes. I said, whatever your mom tell you, believe her. Whatever she say. Because I never wanted to be a family feud like it's me against her or her against me with him.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, what good is being right when everybody loses?
Yep.
I think it was Jay-Z that said that nobody wins when the family feud.
For sure.
Nobody wins. So because of my actions, I never wanted him to see or hear from me that I'm going to talk bad about his mom to him. So I said that to say this, that he leaned heavily on his mom because she was big about education and anything.
Yeah.
She was, nope.
Yeah.
Hey, schoolwork.
Yeah.
She's all about that,
Yeah.
schoolwork. So he was able to get through that, those moments by leaning on her. Heavily, he had a couple of other people, to be able to lean on, to be able to do that. But to be able to go from a moment of seem like your life is over with, then to be able to go to Baylor.
Yeah.
And then you experience another. Yeah. And God said, nope, I'm going to allow you to experience that. But then I'm going to give you another chance to go across the stage. I would say this to any parent out there, and I know parents already feel this, and you will soon find out. There's a soft spot when it comes to you and your child. Mm-hmm. And we never really understand it until we get our own, right? No matter how bad things may look in the public between a family, but those family love those kids. Yeah. I don't care how bad it is, And so with that being said, that was a moment for him to be able to say, look, I was able to do it. You know what I'm saying? And that's not the end of anyone's story. Mm-hmm. I don't care how many times you got in trouble. I don't care how many times you failed. But as long as you have breath in your body to be able to get up every day and to keep trying, anything is possible. Yeah, anything is possible. And so there's two sides to it, man. Mm-hmm. There's the children's side and there's the parent side. Yeah. Like me, we didn't raise our kids to be that way. Yeah. But they didn't have the outlet. And you talk about that a lot of the times. Mm-hmm. To be able to, what they're experiencing eternally in the inside, to be able to have a healthy way. And the only way, and it's not because they didn't have love. They did. Yeah. They did. They had my mom, my dad, God bless my kids' other grandmother. She was there for them before she passed away. So it's just, bro, life sometimes, unfortunately, throw a lot of people a bad hand. Yeah.
So the next situation with your daughter,
sure. Yes.
Right? Yeah. Like you said, you were running, bro. You're doing a whole deal, and then you dropped the bomb on me. I don't know if you want to share exactly what she was going through.
Yes.
But I love me. What?
Yes.
And to see you navigate that situation, brother, it was. I am choosing my words rather. I want to say beautiful to see.
Yes, sir.
Not that she was going through
absolutely.
That, but the way you handled that situation, brother. Yeah. It's for being there for your child, but still doing what you need to do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
For all your obligations that you had to do. So if you want to share
sure.
what she was going
through.
Yes,
sure. So this was, and she's now, her name is Azaria, mm-hmm. and she's now able to tell her own story. Mm-hmm. So me saying this is because she's already put it out there. Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, coincidentally, dude, this month makes a year.
Wow, that's great. That's my top.
This month makes a year. Yeah. So last year, my daughter experienced something, depression, emotional overload. Things just caught up with her to the point that she had an emotional breakdown, to whereas we had to make her at my daughter. Mm-hmm. And the first time, I think it was the end of July, the beginning of August. And I didn't understand a whole lot about what was happening. I just thought it was a one-off. We make her act her, get her some help. That was the first time ever experiencing anything like that, all of the years of her life. And I think she was 20 at the time. Mm-hmm. She was 20 at the time. And that the first time it happened, so we still showing up, doing what we have to do. Look like we're going to get her back into school because she was at Bethune-Cookman, very proud of that. And she goes back late August, September. And even that was, to me was like, she's fighting, to have an emotional breakdown, to be Baker acting, and then get back to school. And then one day, her aunt called me and said, Danny, you need to go get your daughter. And because things are turning for the worse. And so I was at church that Sunday. Me and her aunt, I can't remember the timeline, maybe that Friday, that Saturday. And that Sunday evening, I got on the road, went down there and got my daughter. A couple of weeks later, she had another major breakdown. The second time, it was bad.
Mm-hmm.
Had to break her actor. She had to spend time in a facility, which was horrible.
Yeah.
By the time we went to go get her, I went to go get her, they over-medicated her to the point that she came incapacitated. Had to then take her back to the hospital, and they had to reverse it. But by this time, she wasn't able to talk. She wasn't able to move. I had to do everything for my daughter. For a month, from November to the end of December, I couldn't leave my house.
Yeah.
I had to take off from work. There was no more run club.
Yeah.
Because my daughter became my main priority. Thankfully for a village at that time, that between my sisters, her mom, and her mom's sisters, my mother, my father, the village, they came together, bro. And they would give me a couple of hours because my daughter didn't want to be away from me.
Mm-hmm.
They would just allow me to just have a couple of hours just to go do something.
For sure.
Just to maybe lay down, maybe just to clean up, because she didn't want to be away from me, you know. So that, seeing my daughter, having to sit there and to wonder if my daughter, which was on the president's list at Bethune, she had done pledged, great dancer, very full of life. And the person that I'm watching, will she ever be back to her normal self?
Yeah.
Will she be able to talk again? As a father, I have to sit there and I have to watch this. Life, man, hit so hard.
Yeah.
At that moment. And sometimes, just for a brief second, sometimes as parents, we feel a sense of guilt. Like it's my fault.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to her? You know, so I had to navigate all of that alone.
Yeah.
And to get past that moment.
Yeah.
And to see her now a year later. And again, she'll be able to tell her own story. But quietly, bro, I had to go through it by myself.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that, I had to be there. Now, again, my family was there after a while, because at first they didn't know how deep it was.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't know how severe it was. And, you know, sometimes, and thankfully, bro, I didn't struggle with this. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't struggle with this part. You know, sometimes what do other people, what they going to say? You preaching, you doing this, and now you know, that was just like Job in the Bible.
Yeah.
You know, they wanted to know, what did he do that he's experiencing all of this? Now, I'm no Job now.
Yeah, I got you.
You know, I'm not innocent.
For sure.
But God allowed certain things to happen, man, to be able to. I had to love my daughter through those moments. Had to love her through it, man.
Yeah.
You know, it was deep. But again, I'll let her share some more intimate times. But no, that was a tough time. And I just want to thank you and the Run Club, you know, because once y'all found out, bro, y'all were like right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
quick, just what did you take? What was the biggest takeaway from that moment? From that situation?
From that situation, my biggest takeaway is love your kids no matter what.
Yeah.
And it's not what you can do for them, but it's who you are to them.
Powerful.
That's all they want.
Powerful.
They just want you.
Powerful.
Yeah.
I like it. Embrace.
So
you say this word a lot. I see this word a lot. Embrace.
Embrace.
What does it mean, brother?
Embrace who you are. Flaws, personality, your difference, your speech, all of that. Mm-hmm. Embrace. Mm-hmm. And that came from when I came back to when God called me to preach in late 2023, early 2024, to take on the assignment. He was basically saying, embrace everything that you've learned up until this point.
Yeah.
Don't change anything. Just embrace you.
Yeah.
Everything about you. How you run, how you dress, what you do, your personality. Embrace that. Mm-hmm. And so that was a reminder to me that coming back to a platform don't change who you are. Just embrace it all.
Yeah.
Just embrace you.
Yeah. So right now in this moment, what are you embracing right now? Like you, Danny Grimes, in this season of Danny's life, what are you embracing?
Everything that God will allow me to have.
Yeah.
Whether it be stuff that he takes away, stuff that he gives, just embracing everything, the moments, everything that he brings into my life.
Yeah.
You know, the influence that he's caused me to have. Embrace that. Embrace being the person that is the joyous person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I love it. One thing I want to touch on is community, right? We had in-depth conversations and, quickly as we wrapping up.
Yes.
We talk about the community, right?
Yes.
And something that always stuck out to me, you talked about how you and Mr. Ponder used to mentor way back in the day.
Yes.
Same thing we do, Derek Ponder.
Yes.
Same thing we used to do. You guys used to try to do. And some of the same stuff we started experiencing. You guys experiencing.
Yes.
So there's a gap somewhere, between our community. And my question to you is, why do you think it's so hard for us to come together?
I'm gonna circle back to something that I said. If it's not ours, if I didn't start it, then I can't support it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whether that be a community, something like you guys got, maybe even like the MIM Run Club.
Yeah.
I had a young man by the name of Cody. He was coming out to the Run Club and he asked me something one day. He works at Fit to Run. He said, Mr. Grimes, let me ask you something. What you think about me starting a run club? Do it.
Yeah.
Do it. Because for so long we've been taught, if it ain't ours, don't do it. No. Do it. Because when you empower people to do what you're doing, you're creating leaders.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe the tide is changing, bro.
Yeah.
To whereas we'll be through the MIM Run Club, how many leaders we got on there that got their own thing? But when we come together, what we do?
Yeah, we're together.
We support.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's what this has taught us. You don't have to be the one to start it to be a team player.
Yeah.
Just get on board, especially when it's having an impact on the community.
For sure.
Yes, sir.
Another thing I seen you say, rejection is the gateway to your purpose.
Yes, sir.
Talk to me about that.
Because if you're not rejected, maybe you don't walk through the door of your purpose.
If you're not rejected, maybe you don't walk through the door of your purpose. I like that. MIM Run Club.
Yes, sir.
What does it mean to you, brother?
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it embodies everything about who I am. Tell you why. You said something. Years ago, not only was me and Derek Ponder doing the community events called Enough is Enough, and but God gave me something years ago called Faith and Fitness to be able to bring people together, to be able to exercise. And I started that because I wanted people to be healthy, particularly those that couldn't afford a gym membership. So the ones that I used to train back in the day from Faith and Fitness, I used to take those proceeds and get them gym memberships to be able to be healthy. So to be able to do it again with the Run Club, it's basically just who I am, brother.
Full circle moment.
Full circle moment.
I love it. Fashion. Right? So you've been today's male guy, the fashion man, the fashion killer for so long. Obviously growing up how you grew up, you couldn't even wear shorts.
Right.
So where did this fashion sense come from?
My father.
Okay.
My father. My dad is. I love a lot of the fashion designers and dressers out there, but my dad was one of my biggest inspirations. To see him iron his clothes, even his work clothes, be able to put colors together, the smell good, the grooming, making sure you had your haircut every week. My father, shout out to my father for that.
Yeah. No, that's dope. Even in today's mail, something I was thinking about.
Sure.
You work in today's mail, right? And you've been there for a minute. You think of brothers like, shout out to him, he no longer with Kalen. He did his thing with Blackwood.
Yes.
What has allowed you to stay there and not, because I'm pretty sure you could have went and did your own thing.
Could have.
What allowed you to, or what made you stay in today's mail?
So I would never forget when I first started there was people coming to me telling me, man, you could get your own thing. But I learned something. To be able to serve someone else, because I didn't know everything. But I also understood, watching Mr. Billy, that it's easy to start a business. but it's harder to maintain
Yeah,
one.
it is.
And especially with retail because it's up and down. So although I think I probably could have started one, but would I be still in business today?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So also they were very good people, family people to me. So I've been able to get opportunities. I could have made a lot of money a lot of other places. But what I've learned there and the people that I've been able to come in contact with is more than just money. It's been wealth, bro.
Yeah. Lastly, brother, what are you still learning about yourself? We just talked about a whole journey of going through some stuff.
Yes, sir.
And now you're here.
Yes, sir.
What is Daniel Grimes still learning about himself?
I'm still learning that if you don't continually check yourself every day, you'll fall back into the same things that you thought you overcame.
Yeah. I love it. That's powerful.
Yes, sir.
All right, brother. Super proud of you, bro.
Appreciate you, brother.
Man, it's been a great episode, brother. One thing I'm going to tell you, you have a PhD and you don't even know it. You have a PhD in resiliency, brother.
Wow, man.
From the beginning of time, 6 to 7, ninth grade, parenting, all these things we've talked about that you've overcome. And look at you now. You're still up here with a smile. And that's your superpower, right?
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
That's your superpower. That's why I love you. That's why I want you around me. You called me the other day about a little small situation, and you was like, I could see you was kind of like, I was like, bro, don't ever feel the pressure to call me. Yes, anytime you ever call my phone, anytime you ever see something you think I should, call me, bro.
Yes, sir.
You got that green light.
I appreciate it.
Because I respect you that much, and I respect who you are, brother. And I greatly appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you for spending this time with me.
Hey, man, it was a pleasure, man. Thank you. I'm honored, for real.
Hey, man, so stop what you're doing right now. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. Like, subscribe, and comment, man. Make sure you're showing love. We had a great episode, man. Drop in the comments something you took away from the episode, something that Danny said that stuck with you. Make sure you're engaging with it. And share this, man. I challenged you in the beginning. Share this podcast with 3 people. Make sure we get it out, man. Cut Different Academy. We got New Year's coming. Our community day coming. Well, it's probably out for the community day. But in the new year, we got some good stuff coming up. MLK Day coming up too, man. We got to start supporting MLK Day in the park and all those different things. We'll be there with some merch. I'll be one of the hosts in the MLK Day park. I'll actually be hosting the breakfast as well, the prep breakfast. I'll be hosting that as well, man. So make sure y'all showing love. MLK, all right, he died. And we got to still support and we got to still honor his legacy.
Yes.
All right. So, brother, I always let my people in the podcast, right?
Yep.
I usually let the people script it themselves and say, I'm gonna do it. I ain't gonna lead you. However God leading you. But there may be some people on the other side of this camera that don't have resilience, right? That in a hard time that you experience in multiple occasions and they don't know what's up, down, left, right, and they feel stuck or they just don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Something you make it say can help those people. So as we close this podcast, what would you say to someone that may be in that situation?
If you're in that situation, don't give up. I know it's cliche, but honestly, you have to get going. And I'm gonna say something that my sister said the other day. If you could just get past the darkness, eventually the light will come on. Don't give up.
Yeah, I love it, man. Hey, another episode of EL2 Podcast, man. We'll see y'all next time.